Howdy folks, it's been a hot minute, but welcome back to Explore the Weekend. It's been quite some time since we last were with you. We've been ill, we've been very, very busy, and all in all, we've been a little bit late on our schedule. However, we're coming back with a bang, because it is the first episode of our Scotland mini-series. Woohoo!
Woo! Scotland!
So, yeah, Scotland. We are here at Caerlaverock Castle. You don't know how many times I had to practice saying that. We are going to butcher it throughout this episode, don't you worry.
Yep.
Yeah, Caerlaverock Castle, let's go check it out. There we have it, entrance to the original castle, before they then moved it just up the road. So this is the main courtyard, looking at this, yeah, there we go. Nice little green space to wander around in. What have we got over here? This is quite a small castle. So that's sort of a covered passage down there. What's this? Base of an external four-stair leading to the first floor of chamber block. Okay. Yeah, it's quite small, and I'm half wondering if that's because they started having issues with like the subsidence and the damp. Maybe they realised pretty early on that this was not going to be worth building like up and expanding. So this is the main hall, and like this is not a big space. By any stretch of the imagination. For a castle, this is a pretty small hall. So yeah, it's just a case of, did they stop building because they knew it was going wrong, or is it just, this is all they had budget for at the time? What's over here? They've got a corner tower over here. Again, they seem to have gone with this slightly triangular design like they've done up at the main castle. It's a bit funky. What's in here? Ah, the chamber block. Okay, so again, this is small. I know the sign just there said there was a first floor, but again, this is a small space. Very small space. Guessing this might be this will be a wall. I'm guessing this might be another sort of tower on the corner. You can definitely see that the remnants of the moat here. Like, there's a very obvious cut-off between the path on the other side and the edge of the castle here, with this sort of marshy ground here. It's just quite funky, because normally you get castles built on top of the sort of the prior structure. They all sort of overlap each other, and it can make dating stuff quite difficult because it's all just mishmashed on top of itself. But here you've got two completely separate sites. You've got this original one, which is surprisingly sort of well defined. The walls are really quite well. Here's another corner tower, look. Yeah, you've got this one that's quite well defined, but then you've got a completely separate structure just up the road, rather than being sort of plonked on top. Quite interesting.
I've just been walking along the perimeter, trying to get an idea for how big this place actually is. And I worked out it's 27 paces wide by 30 paces deep. So that pace is about a metre. So 27 by 30 metres square, rectangle really, it's not that big. Is that because they knew the site was going to be falling down eventually because it's such a wet, boggy area? Or was there simply not enough space because the river didn't look that wide? So, don't know. It's just interesting that it's so tiny.
We must give a shout out to Jerry, who was the chap on reception when we came in today and gave us our tickets, because he said you might want to do the outside stuff first, not because it's going to get busy or anything, but because it's going to rain.
Yep.
Man can see into the future because it's just started to rain, so he made a good call. So we followed his advice. We've done the sort of the older part of the castle first. We're then going to do the main sort of ramparts now. And then we'll finish up. There's like an indoor siege
10-minute video.
10-minute video.
The castle.
About the castle. So he made a good call. We've listened to his advice. So top tip, listen to the reception people. They know what they're on about half the time.
They do know what they're on about.
They do. Right, let's get going. Here she is, the main attraction. It's a very impressive gate, it has to be said. But it's very unusual shape. Triangular castle. You really don't see those. Very funky. Oh, there's some swans in the moat. Here we go. Caerlaverock Castle. You can just about still make out the seal, the crest above the door. A deer and a thistle, I think. Very cool. Let's go in and get out the wind. Whoa. You can definitely see the triangular shape. Look at all these carvings. Look all the way up. Whoa. They go all the way up. That's so cool. 1634 that one says. I wonder if originally these would have been painted as well to add some colour. There's their seal again, look, the stag with the thistles. That looks like some cherubs or something maybe? A bit hard to tell. Ah, here we go. And this is what they are. Very cool. Oh, there's the well. The main well. There's some stairs up and around again. Ah. Here we go, the bakehouse. Most important place. So there's the well. And that is the most important thing of all, the oven. Oh yes. Quite a big thing. That barely shows up at all. I promise you that's the inside of an oven. Pretty well lit from the window. Although it is a very small room overall. I think it might have been a bit steamy, a bit stuffy in here. As we head down the passageway. Oh. Wonder if this was a little store area, perhaps.
This was the serving area.
The serving area?
Carried the food up the stairs to the Earl's chambers above.
Ah. The more you know. by this point you've probably noticed the elephant in the room and there's all this scaffolding around. That is because there's a lot of refurb going on at the minute, so we can't go in quite a few places. Most of this wing is shut down, the 2 towers at the front are shut down as well, you can't go in them. But they're preserving them so everyone else can come visit them in the future, which is wonderful, because from what we've seen so far, this is a very cool castle. Not just for its shape, but just the ornateness of its decoration. It's not something we've seen before in all the castles we've been visited to, but this is more about what's going on. So I need to do some repairs to the stonework, look. Important work. It's got a grand staircase. I mean, it's pretty grand actually. Nice pieces of stone, these. That's where it kept on going up, look. But unfortunately it's now a little bit crumbled. But you can see where the floor level would have been. If I point this out, you can see vaguely where the floor level would have been. Would have come across here. Let's go down. Interesting seeing where the fireplaces were in all the different rooms. More ornate fireplaces.
So this originally was being the Lord's Hall.
The Lord's Hall.
That was his rooms through there, his main hall through here. And you can see along the top there, there's where the door used to be. You can see the way they filled it in. So this used to have a big vaulted ceiling, and it went all the way through. And you can go through the door and see.
Let's go through and see. Oh yeah. This place was huge on the inside. They already built upwards. This would have been another archway, look. There, it's been filled in. Ah, there we go, the Lord's Hall. Impressive space. It's actually interesting seeing how many rooms are actually closed off, and how many you can't get to, like all these upper rooms that are no longer accessible. There's ones in here, look, as well. That's part of the tower. It's a huge, great place. Absolutely enormous. And then, on the landing, looking back in.
Imagine going down those steps in your big old skirts.
Yeah, I don't think I'd bother to, but I think I'd stay up here all the time.
Yeah.
Just recline by the fire and do embroidery or some such thing.
Well, I guess that's what they did do, just recline by the fire and do embroidery.
Yeah, true.
Because they couldn't move.
They couldn't move. It's just not particularly accessible,
No.
even to us.
It's narrow.
And I don't particularly like heights, so this is going to be fun going down. These things always set me off. I also try not to choke to death. We've been ill the last sort of few weeks, so I'm steadily trying to hold my breath in so I don't cough all over the recording. Near the bottom? I think we might be near the bottom here.
Made it.
Ah yeah, here we go. Easy peasy. Awesome. Back onto the grand staircase.
Much nicer.
Much nicer. Murdoch's Tower. What's in here? Oh, a pit prison. Gross. You wouldn't want to be these guys. Let's have a look inside. Bit of a narrow entranceway, mind. Up it goes. So I'm guessing the trap door would have been somewhere here. Again, it's a small room though, it really is. Unfortunate souls would have been underneath us, or guards, etc. in the rooms above. Pretty cool tower. Despite the horrors that happened here, no doubt. Okie dokie, time to head back up to the top for the, was it a 10-minute video? Yeah, some sort of video. Oh, straight back into the wind, blimey. Yeah, there's a little video up in the far sort of hut on the end, which go and check out. And then that is, got to pronounce this correctly, Caerlaverock Castle. Nailed it, boom. Done. That was dreadful. Oh, dearie me. Anyway, let's go see this recording, learn some facts, and maybe get a coffee. Because we've been on the go since 2:30 this morning. We left Leicester at 2:30 in the AM, and we got here at just after 9:15.
Having stopped for an hour to kill time.
Having stopped in some services for some breakfast. Yeah, it's been quite a long night. I didn't get any sleep. I just stayed awake. So I've sort of disassociated the last 12 hours. I feel a bit perplexed as to how I've ended up in Scotland. You've had some sleep.
I have, yes. I had about 4 hours of sleep, so I couldn't stay awake. And I also napped in the car whilst some other person was driving.
Unbelievable. Couldn't believe it. I was so jealous. It's unbelievable. Right, let's go watch the recording, get a coffee to wake up, and see where the day takes us. Let's go. Ah, here you go. Here are the ticket prices as well. It's really good value to get in here, £6. And these are the opening times. So it is open even on a Sunday, very early, which is exactly where we've come.
Yeah.
Caerlaverock. Nailed it. Entrance. There we go. Oh, do we?
No.
Oh. Okay, we won't. Oh, wow. I'm not going to attempt to translate that, because thankfully someone's already done that. couple of trebuchet balls down there. Big things. Bloody hell, that made me jump. I think that's the video starting.
It's recorded in the Chronicles of the Great Monasteries in this year of grace 1300
Tony Robinson.
that King Edward I was
Tanty
at
man.
Carlisle on St John's Day and held a great court. He commanded all his men to prepare themselves to go with him against his enemies, the Scots. By the appointed day, the whole host was castle of Caerlaverock. Caerlaverock is a castle so strong that before King Edward came, it did not fear siege. It was well supplied with men, engines and provisions. With 3 sides and a tower at each angle, it formed a shield against attack. There are numerous marshes where the sea meets the river. Therefore, the host must attack from the east, where the ground rises. This castle of Caerlaverock, leaves and flowers and herbs were gathered in the woods and strewn within. Shortly afterwards, the navy arrived with siege engines and provisions. Then the foot soldiers started their march towards the castle. And once the fighting started, flying among our men were stones and arrows. So fierce was the first exchange that after a short while, many bodies there were, and were many wounded and maimed. When the men-at-arms saw how the footmen suffered, they rushed to their aid. Then we saw stones falling so thickly as if they were rain, hats and helmets.
Alright, there we have it. Caerlaverock Castle.
Yep.
Cool place that. £6 to get in. Incredible value. Because you get this castle just behind us, which is the later stage. You also get the earlier stage.
Yep.
And you get this sort of separate side museum with its little video. So for £6, well worth coming.
Yeah, and also we're in a way funding the refurbishments because there's quite a lot being fixed up, which is really nice to see actually.
Yeah, so a lot of it's closed, which is a shame.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know that it is going to be looked after, it is being repaired, and it will be open again. And it's a good like third of the castle. There's a lot we've not seen, just because it is being closed for refurb. So it'll be exciting to come back, I think, at some point in the future, hopefully, and check out when it's been fixed, when it's been repaired and reopened. I think they're very, very cool.
Absolutely.
So we are going to leave you here because we have plenty of other stuff to go and see today. Whether that's its own separate episode or we tack it on to the end of this one, we're not quite sure. We'll find out in the edit, I guess.
Yeah.
So either look forward to episode 2 or episode 1.5. Who knows? We don't know either. Yeah, plenty to see and do. Got a full week coming up. Very excited about what we've got sort of planned and on the itinerary. Yeah. Can't wait to get going.
Hope you enjoy joining us on the trip around Scotland.
Yeah, looking forward to it. One of many episodes. See you very soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Before we go though, got to check out the gift shop. Get a magnet. Let's go. Oh, we thought this was a stairwell. It is not. It's not. Is it in this one? Oh, it's in this one.